Then at the age of 65, the Peloponnesian War finally ended in humiliation for Athens, and the Spartan leader Lysander sailed over to Athens to put in a different government. This government would be sympathetic to Sparta, and it was known as the 30 Tyrants. The tyrants absolutely terrorized Athens, arresting anyone who was clearly against Sparta. And many people fled. Many people who were like Socrates fled Athens, but Socrates stayed. One of the leaders of the 30 tyrants, known as Prietus, then issued an edict banning the teaching of philosophy, and he specifically mentioned Socrates in that edict. And this is the point where it became part of politics too, and Socrates said, "I don't want to be part of politics. I just want to be a man of principle." Then one day, Socrates and 4 other men were sent to an island to arrest a man known as Leon, who was a member of the democratic opposition. Socrates just ignored his orders and went home. Now thankfully, Critias, who was the man who sent Socrates and the 4 men to arrest Leon, was killed, and the 30 tyrants were all deposed. But they were all replaced by Democrats who also did not like Socrates at all. And Socrates was safe up until 399 BC when he was arrested for impiety and corrupting the youth. Anytus was the main man behind these charges, and he did not like Socrates at all because Socrates inadvertently convinced his son to not continue the family tradition of tanning and to become a philosopher. Now this whole trial was BS. I mean, Socrates was 70 by now, and he was facing the death penalty for impiety and corrupting the youth. Socrates was on trial in front of 500 members of the ruling council, and he took none of this seriously. He treated the trial like one of his philosophical conversations with himself. But the council did not find this funny, and they ended up ruling 280 to 220 in favor of the death penalty for Socrates. And after this, Socrates was supposed to argue why he should have a lesser sentence, but he then said that he should only have to pay 1 mina, which would be equivalent to 1 pitcher of wine, and that this would be his fine instead of having a death penalty. He also said that instead of being given the death penalty, he should be honored for what he's done, and he should be given a place at the, and I might say this wrong, Prytaneum, which is the sacred hall where the heroes of Athens would get to live for free at the people's expense. And everyone was furious at Socrates for suggesting such a thing. Then Socrates said, "You know what? Instead of 1 mina for 1 pitcher of wine, I'll give you 30. That sounds like a good number." And then people just went insane and voted 360 to 140 in favor of giving him the death penalty.